Okay, so can you introduce yourself?
My name is Jennifer Hixon, and I work as an adjunct lecturer with the College of Education.
Okay. Can you describe your project?
Yes, my niece moved, and in the process of moving, she lost 11 like little brackets that go to one of those sleep number beds. When she called, she only had one. She lost 11 out of 12. And when she called the store, they said they were very sorry she could not get that bracket anymore because the bed was too old and they didn't carry the parts anymore. And so it was a pretty expensive bed that was unusable. And my husband took the one part and said, well, maybe we could make a part for her out of wood. And then he said, well, I'll bet 5 years from now we're going to be able to do this on a computer with 3D. And I said, I wonder if the 3D computer lab at the business college would be willing to do this for us. And I came and brought it over, and you said yes. So that was the project.
Awesome. So how did you learn about the Maker Lab?
Actually, we had I had some visitors from Japan. It was a professor that I've worked with over the years from Tokyo Metropolitan University, and he brought 9 students to visit the university and the Urbana School District. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't know about the lab, but one of the students knew, the Japanese students knew about the lab and asked if I would bring them here. And so I did, and everybody was very kind in letting us see how everything worked and ask questions. And that's why I thought, well, maybe you would do this for me.
Awesome. Okay, so last question. What are your thoughts about this lab being in the business school?
Well, I actually wondered about that when we first came. I thought, well, why is this in the business school? And my husband just, you're talking over supper, and he said, oh, Jennifer, it's going to change how business works. And now I really understand that, because in this case, something was no longer available, and an individual could actually get it made and extend the life of a product. But I would think, coming down the line, if you were a businessman, it's costs you money to have a big warehouse to store parts for all of the old beds or whatever you're making that that are out of phase. And so if your goal is to please the consumer, you will be able to offer parts for a much longer time, because you won't have a storage problem. If somebody writes to you and say, I need these parts, you'd be able to give them to them. And it'll help the consumer, because if the manufacturer's goal is to make you buy a new bed, you'll have a workaround.
Yeah.
So I think it will be helpful to everybody. And I would think FedEx would be pretty worried. Yeah. Because there would be fewer things delivered longer. For instance, this bed maker, if this bed maker had the file, they could have sent the file to their store in Champaign-Urbana, and then that store could have printed it out, and she could have bought it from that store rather than having something shipped. So I think it will just change the way business works. So that's what I think. So I think it's great to be in the business college.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that at first, but now I do. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot. I think that's it. And if you wanted to throw in an extra comment.
No, I do really appreciate the service. It was very, very handy. I felt bad for my niece having this expensive bed and not being able to use it. And I was happy to help her, and I was happy that I knew about you guys in order to ask.
Awesome.
So.